Greg, thank you so much for joining me today. And I know we're so excited with all of the major transformations happening with AI in the industry. Like, it's been a crazy year last year. Like, so many things.
Yeah, there's so much change that's happening so quickly. So I think it'll be really interesting to do a little bit of a investigation on how some of these new AI tools could actually work in our industry. Like, are they useful? Can we use them? How can we trust any of the information from them? So I think it'll be fun to kind of explore this here.
Do you think they'll ever replace us? They're not as good looking as us, let's face it. They're not going to replace us like that.
I don't know. AI probably can make avatars that are pretty good looking and probably are pretty smart. So
we will have to check that out. That's one of the things that we're going to have to investigate. Definitely to investigate this series.
Exactly. The first one I think that'll be really interesting for us to explore is NotebookLM. So it's a new product that came out by Google. Instead of like ChatGPT that uses everything in the internet, it uses only the source material that you upload to it. So they bill it as like a research assistant. It allows you to look at many different documents or papers, and it'll do summaries for you. So it's a super cool tool. But I think the reason that NotebookLM has gotten a lot of attention is because you hit one button and it creates a realistic sounding podcast with two different people talking, which is crazy.
Yes, very much so. Like, I've listened to some of them before and it's so good. And some things that I would have never thought about, like, ever.
For this case, so what we've done is upload it as source material. Preventing Turbo Machinery Cholesterol, the story of Varnish, a book that we wrote. So we thought, let's use this as source material, and then we're going to ask AI some questions about this, and let's see what it says.
Be able to answer.
Preventing turbo machinery cholesterol. Someone's serious about their turbines.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're critical pieces of machinery, right?
For sure. So we're going to break down all these technical documents and give you the insights that you need.
I'm going to hit join.
Someone wants to join. Hey, go for it.
Hi there. So this is Greg, and we have a question for you. Can you explain varnish as if I was a 6-year-old?
Okay, Greg, that's a great question.
Yeah, it's always fun to explain things simply.
So imagine you have a toy car, right?
Yeah, and it needs oil to move smoothly.
Well, sometimes that oil gets dirty.
Like when you get mud on your toys.
Exactly. And this dirt, called varnish, is like sticky goo.
It makes your car harder to move?
It can clog up the tiny parts.
So it's not just a little mess, it's like a problem.
Yeah, and it can even make your toy car stop working.
And it's not like the varnish you use on wood, right?
Nope, it's from the oil getting old and yucky.
Okay, so it's like the oil version of when food goes bad.
Precisely, and that's why it's important to keep the oil clean and fresh.
So just like we need to eat good food, machines need good oil.
Exactly. So now, Greg, does that make a bit more sense?
Okay, so now that we've covered that, let's get back to our deep dive.
Sanya, what do you think?
It did make some sense because I know any 6-year-old would have a toy car and they would understand that analogy. That's totally, like, I understand that's a nice concept.
So I would say I've never thought of an analogy like this to explain varnish, and that's a really good point. If this was a 6-year-old, I think they would probably get this.
Definitely have a toy car. Yeah, good analogy. What do you think? What do you think about that?
I would say for the first question, I would say, good job, AI. I think that was a pretty solid answer.
You did a good job. All right, let's see how well they do with all other questions. Did they read the book properly? That's the question.
Yeah, exactly.